The year is 1348. Thomas, a disgraced knight, has found a young girl alone in a dead Norman village. An orphan of the Black Death and an almost unnerving picture of innocence, she tells Thomas that plague is only part of a larger cataclysm, that the fallen angels under Lucifer are rising in a second war on heaven, that the world of men has fallen behind the lines of conflict. Hello and welcome to Liam's Lyceum. I'm your host Liam, aka Mbar. Today I'll be doing a spoiler-free review of Christopher Buelhman's Between Two Fires. Between Two Fires is a 2012 novel by Christopher Buelhman. It is standalone, and it is a little hard to categorize. It's we'll kind of talk about that later. Anyways, so it is set in France during the Black Death, a couple of years after the Battle of Crécy. Thomas has been excommunicated and his lands were stolen along with his wife. He's become a fated, to put it bluntly. He has become a brigand as a result, though, and the terrible things brigands do, he has done. At the start of the story, a young girl has lost her father to the pestilence and asks Thomas and his fellow highwaymen and help to bury him. After this experience, Thomas and the girl go on an adventure that will lead them from Normandy to Avignon. The girl is saintly, seeing angels and helping in seeming miracles. Thomas's arc is about becoming a good man again. There's also a character of a priest, one they help by defeating a demonic monster in a creek. It's terribly gray and grim and full of horror and plague, but it's still got a positive message of holy power over the demonic. There's obvious hate against Jews from that period, as well as an interesting homosexual character, the one that I think is quite well done, personally. It's almost sword and sorcery in some feels, actually. It's every single character, even the holy ones, have their faults and sins, if you could put it that way, falling short of the glory of God, right? So definitely fans of dark historical fantasy will enjoy this, and probably those who enjoy grimdark too, as it is grim and dark. The thing that pulls it away from being more sword and sorcery is the combat being naturalistic rather than swashbuckling, and the focus is really on the characters too, and their choices to be compassionate in such terrible circumstances that make, the difference. The relationships are top-notch, and the fallen angels in the war in heaven are extremely interesting. It's very, very, very creepy. This story is very creepy. My goodness, it's essentially a horror novel, just to put it that way. It is very creepy, very atmospheric, very well done. It made my top 10 books, actually, of last year. So the story is largely one of redemption, though, and it deals with the question of how God could let such terrible things happen. Of course, this is the Black Death after all. So again, it was one of my biggest surprises 2022. I wasn't really expecting much going into it, but honestly, this is just one I think I could recommend to a lot of people reading. Maybe not those who, get queasy easily, maybe, or just don't care about that time period at all, but it is very interesting. It is very fun. I mean, there's some things I think they're a little cheesy, but near the end, in particular with the girl's character, but no, it's still very good, even for those, I think, that aren't even Christian, for example. It's very, very creepy, though. I don't think I can reiterate that much enough, but it's done so well, though. It's not a turn-off. That is one of the reasons I feel like you should read this book. Anyways, this has been Liam's Lyceum. I'll catch you next time.